Hi, I am Vishal and I am a work addict. In the words of Donella Meadows, author of Thinking in Systems. Addiction is finding a quick and dirty solution to the symptoms of the problem which prevents or distracts one from the harder and longer-term task of solving the real problem. I got my first hit of an 80-hour work week interning at an investment bank in London. Despite walking away from a lucrative career in investment banking, my addiction followed me everywhere. It followed me when I left investment banking for a dream role in behavioural science. It followed me when I left London for New Zealand to head up a behavioural science unit. It was only later on in life, through meditation practice, that I had 3 revelations. 1. I was using work to seek external validation, including validation of success from friends and family. 2. I was using work to avoid deep, meaningful relationships, including falling in love and putting myself out there. 3. I was using work to avoid myself. These days, I try to keep my addiction at bay by working 20-hour work weeks. But I know that my addiction lingers in the background, waiting to drown me into the deep sea in a culture that values productivity over well-being. The death of Anna Perayil. My birthplace in Cochin is where Anna's story began and ended far too soon. She died only 4 months into her new role. After completing her chartered accountancy exams, Anna moved from Cochin to Pune to start a dream role in a multinational consulting firm. Unfortunately, the demanding work hours may have cost this bright and aspiring 26-year-old her life. Work addiction and overwork are systemic issues that thrive in a culture that pushes people beyond their limits. So here's my practical question. How might we prevent a culture of overworking people through a systems thinking lens? Using one of Donella Meadows' frameworks, we can break down the system of overwork into elements, connectors, and purpose. Elements are the core components or parts of the system. The idea is that the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. I've put together some elements to get us started thinking about this system. Long hours. Demanding work hours sets the expectation, normalizing overwork. Incentives. Career rewards and recognition are given to people who stretch themselves. Connectivity. Technology enables 24/7 access, making it difficult or impossible for people to disconnect. Standards. High performance expectation requires hard work. Boundaries. Blurred lines between work and personal time. Connectors are the ways in which the different parts or components of the system interact with each other. I've created 2 loops to explore how this works in practice. The first one is the recognition loop. The more hours that people put in, the more incentives they receive through career promotions and bonuses, which raises the standards and the expectations for people to work longer and longer hours. The second loop I've constructed is the always-on loop. Technology leads people to be connected, which also leads people to work longer and longer hours, which breaks down personal boundaries. And since personal boundaries are weakened, people use technology for more work purposes, which lead to people working longer and longer hours because they're always on. Zooming out, we get to see how the elements interact with each other and reinforce each other through these loops to create undesirable outcomes. But we haven't addressed the core of this system, the purpose. The purpose is the most overlooked component in any system, yet it's where we can have the biggest impact. If the underlying purpose prioritizes profit or productivity above everything else, you can expect to have a system that will produce overwork, work addiction, and burnout. Only by redefining the purpose to value well-being over performance metrics can we end the culture of overwork.